Hello and welcome to today's English lesson. My name is Stuart. In today's lesson, we're looking at phrases and expressions with the word law. Let's go to the intro. Now, as I said, today's lesson is looking at phrases and expressions that contain the word law, and we have 13 phrases and expressions that contain this word, and we're going to look at the phrase or expression and also have a look at the context. Now, a lot of the times when we're using these particular expressions, obviously we are talking about the law, legal or illegal activity perhaps. So these will come in handy if you need to talk about this particular subject. So let's have a look at the first one. Now, the first one is against the law, and if something is against the law, it is illegal, okay? So, for example, it's against the law to carry a gun. It's against the law to carry a gun, at least in this country where I am. Now, I don't know in your country whether you can walk around the streets with a gun in your pocket and just pull it out and, show people your gun. I'm not using that as a metaphor. But at least where I am here, it's illegal to use guns or to carry guns. So it's against the law, okay? It's against the law to carry a gun. The next one is above the law, and if you are above the law or if somebody is above the law, it means that they don't adhere or they don't follow the rules or the laws that are established. Now, the majority of people are not above the law. Some people think that they are above the law, maybe politicians, maybe some police think that they are above the law, judges, the legal system perhaps. But technically in a democracy, nobody should be above the law. So some people think they are above the law. Some people think that is the case. They do things knowing that they are illegal, but because of their position in society or because of the contacts they have, they think that they are above the law. There was a movie a few years ago with Steven Seagal called Above the Law, I think it was called. So that was an example of how it was used. The next one is to become law, and no smoking in pubs could soon become law. So if something becomes law, it means that obviously it goes from not being a law to being a law. And the example here with smoking. So, for example, in Australia, when I was a teenager, you could go to a pub and you could smoke a cigarette, have a drink, and it was completely legal. But it became law that you were not allowed to smoke in pubs. So no smoking in pubs became law. I think it was about 20 years ago. I'm not sure how long ago. But it became law that you weren't allowed to smoke anymore in pubs or restaurants in Western Australia, at least where I am from. The next one is to break the law. And if you break the law, you commit a crime. So the police stopped them because they were breaking the law. They were doing whatever. Maybe they were loitering. Maybe they were graffitiing something. I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were speeding in their car, perhaps. They were breaking the law, okay? Which is why the police stopped them. The next one is to obey the law. To obey the law means that you operate or you go about your day-to-day inside the legal limits, let's say. So you obey the law. I try to obey the law as much as I can, okay? I try not to do illegal things. I try to obey the law, all right? I try to keep within the law, let's say. The next one is to enforce the law. To enforce the law, the police are in charge of enforcing the law because we have all of these laws and the police enforce the laws. So the job of the police is to enforce the law, okay? That is their purpose. That is what they do. They drive around in their cars. You can see the police looking for people doing things that are perhaps against the law. So the police try to enforce the law, all right? Within the law, it's a good idea to do business within the laws, okay? Again, to do things legally inside the legal limits that have been established, especially when you're doing business, for example. We saw that recently the company Apple received a big fine from the European Union because they did something that was not within the law, according to the European Union, okay? They did something that was not within the law regarding tax, so they were subsequently fined 13 billion euros or dollars or whatever the amount was. So they weren't operating within the law. By law, okay, let's have a look at the context. We are obliged by law to pay income tax. So by law, the law is established, and by law we are required to do that. Okay, you're required to do that by law. You can also say under law as well. So under law or by law, you are required to pay income tax. The next one, a little bit unfamiliar. This one is to flout the law. To flout the law. Look at the example. We'll see if we can guess the meaning through context. By not wearing a seatbelt, you are flouting the law. You are flouting the law. So basically what you are doing is that you're not respecting the law. You're flouting the law. As I said, you're not respecting it. You know that you need to wear a seatbelt, or you have to wear a seatbelt because it's compulsory or obligatory. But if you don't wear it and you drive around, you are flouting the law. You're asking for the police to stop you and fine you for not wearing the seatbelt. So you're flouting the law, okay? You flout the law. Another example is that if you go to a pub, let's say, and you smoke a cigarette in the toilets, you're flouting the law, because we know it's not legal or it's illegal to smoke in pubs, but if you do it, you're flouting the law, okay? The next one is the law. Now this is an informal expression that we use to refer to the police, especially in the UK, in Australia as well. We use this a bit as well. The law. He had some trouble with the law a few years ago, meaning he had trouble with the police. The law, okay? So it's an informal way of calling the police. The law, okay? The law. Be careful, the law's coming, meaning the police are coming, okay? The law. To study law is what you do if you go to university. You study law. A lot of people nowadays go to university to study law. Perhaps you are studying law, or you have studied law and you are now a lawyer. So you have studied law. And these last two here, number 12 and number 13, they're like idioms, okay? They're idioms or expressions. And the first one is to lay down the law. To lay down the law. Let's look at the meaning through context. The new coach decided to lay down the law on his first day on the job. So he decided to lay down the law. He decided to set the rules, to impose himself, to impose his presence, to show that he was the strongest person at the club, because he was the coach, okay? So he decided to lay down the law. Now obviously we're speaking figuratively here. He's not laying down any specific law, but he's laying down the law, meaning that he's imposing his ideas or his ways on the team, let's say, okay? So the new coach decided to lay down the law. And the last one is a law unto oneself. A law unto oneself. Again, context through example. She listens to nobody. She's a law unto herself, okay? Now what this means is that she doesn't follow rules, okay? She doesn't care about the rules. She doesn't listen to what people say. She's very individualistic. She's an individual, okay? She's not like everybody else. She's a law unto herself. So, law unto oneself, myself, yourself, herself, hisself, etc. She listens to nobody, okay? Nobody can tell her what to do. She listens to nobody. She's a law unto herself, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 expressions and phrases that contain the word law. Now, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. Remember to share the video, please, on social media, whichever social media you are using at the moment. Please share the video. I'll see you in the next lesson, and have a good day. Bye.